it's Greg, community storyteller for Kentucky's Heartland, and with me, Officer John Thomas, Elizabethtown Police Department.
That's right.
Consuming some of the Kentucky's Heartland coffee. Good stuff, isn't it?
It's amazing.
And you know what? He's law enforcement. He should know all about coffee.
I know about the other half of the coffee equation.
the bad stuff. All right, so I wanted to have you in and talk about this thing you've got going on, this virtual eyes on crime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to talk about my hair and gossip about Chris Denham a little bit.
We can, you know what? I would definitely be for that. That is for sure. But I think as I'll flip to a closer shot of your hair speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself. It does. That's right.
Did you actually prepare your hair before you came in today, or
Every day. It's part of the brand, Greg.
that's good? Yeah.
Yep.
See, I don't really have that issue.
Yep.
So, virtual eyes on crime.
Yes.
I think this is a genius idea. Was this some idea from the Elizabethtown Police Department, or did it come from somewhere else?
Well, Detective Dustin Lucas is the brainchild from the police department, but he did not originate the idea. We heard about it from the Nelson County Sheriff's Office, who've been doing it for a little while, and it's probably popped up in other places across the country. But we are one of the first departments in Kentucky to hop on board with this, so we're excited about it.
Which I think is great, because having a few dealings on the good side with the Elizabethtown Police Department, you guys, whenever there's a crime, you look. That's one of the first things you guys do, is to look to see if there's security cameras around the area.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, especially if we're in retail areas, we know that most businesses have surveillance cameras now. But now that camera systems have gotten more affordable, more and more people are starting to add residential surveillance systems. And we're like, why not take advantage of that?
Does that make it easier to catch the folks?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I've always wondered, because some of the video you see is a little on the grainy side, and I know social media has helped you guys out a lot, because when you throw those photos up there, it doesn't take long before they find out that's Jim Bob next door.
We have solved dozens of cases that way, and yeah, people always complain when the surveillance is grainy, but I think part of that complaint is the realization there are good HD cameras out there, and frankly, the surveillance camera systems I've seen, they're good quality.
All right, and we have a lot of different businesses in our community that have these security systems. So say I have one, and I want to be a part of your virtual eyes on crime. How do I submit to be a part of this program?
Very simple. You go to our website, etownpd.org, and under the Community Programs tab, there is a link that says Virtual Eyes on Crime. You click on that link, and it brings up a document. You just put in your name, your address, contact information, and where your cameras are kind of located, where they're facing the road or other houses or whatnot, so we kind of have an idea of what they might capture. And then you hit submit, and that's all there is to it. And it goes into a secure database. It does not give us access to your surveillance system. Number one question we get, are you all going to be watching us? No, we are not.
I think that would be the one that's when they say that, you're like, but after that statement, we are going to take a closer look.
We don't want anyone to get the idea that this gives us any access to your system. It's 100% voluntary to begin with. Even if you sign up with us, you're under no obligation to share your surveillance with us. This really is just a community partnership, Greg. This gives us the opportunity to partner with you to keep your neighborhood safe, because you know, I think most folks care about the safety and quality of their neighborhood. And you may not be the victim of a crime, but maybe your neighbor, next door had his car broken into, and without your surveillance, that crime may go unsolved. So this is a great way just to keep an eye out for your neighbors as well.
So it's not just for homeowners, it's for business owners?
Yeah, business owners. We've asked businesses and residences alike to feel free to register with us. So yeah, if we can add to this database and make it a large database, it kind of gives us an idea of where surveillance is available throughout our city. We can much more quickly and efficiently investigate crimes all over the city.
How wide of a coverage do we have in our city, do you think?
It's just over 25 square miles. It's huge, which is, another reason. There's about 60 officers in Elizabethtown. We can't cover that massive of an area. We need the eyes and ears of the citizens in E-Town to help us out, and cameras fill in a gap, even in neighborhoods where you can't keep an eye on your own neighborhood all the time. So,
what percentage of that mileage do you think is covered by some camera or some security device? And then I'm sure it's growing every year, because as you mentioned, you can go up to the name your store right now and buy a camera system for a couple of $100.
Sure. I mean, if I was to say a total percentage captured, maybe far away, not necessarily good footage, but total footage, I'd say at least 50%, if not more.
Well, and even from a distance, the grainy footage, if you find out that it's a white pickup truck,
That can be helpful,
You've
and we can
narrowed
start
down at
and we can
least.
start putting pieces together, get surveillance from one business, and then the next one down, and we can start putting some pieces together. So it's helpful. It helps fill in some gaps for us.
And the good thing about it is really outside of some manpower resources, it doesn't cost any money, right?
No, it doesn't. It goes into a secure database that we maintain, and it saves us manpower and hours. When we do a major investigation, say a major crime has occurred in a neighborhood, we'll go door to door, talk to people, find out that you have surveillance system, and that takes a lot of man hours. It takes personnel to be able to do that. And for major crimes, we will do that. But if it's a more minor crime, we may not have the time or the resources to look into that. But if we have this database, we can solve even more minor crimes now if they're captured by surveillance.
Yeah, I think it's a fabulous opportunity for people to make a difference in our community. And then recapping again, if you want to be a part of Virtual Eyes on Crime and be a part of this program, again, how do they
Go to
submit
our
their name?
website, etownpd.org. Under the Community Programs tab, there's a link that says Virtual Eyes on Crime. All you do is you put in your name, your address, contact information, and a little bit about your surveillance system and hit submit, and that's all you have to do. And again, it does not give us access to your system, even if after the fact, if we ask you for your surveillance, if there's a crime in your neighborhood and you're not comfortable giving it to us, you're under no obligation to whatsoever.
All right, good stuff. So again, it's called Virtual Eyes on Crime. That's with the Elizabethtown Police Department. They're always doing innovative things, and I love the fact how you're very creative on your social media pages for
We try to be.
engagements, and you've got the Crime Stoppers is doing so well now, and this is just another one of those feathers in the hat that we're telling these criminals around our area, don't come here because it's not going to be as easy as you
And that's
think.
the other part of this, Greg. This is a great investigative tool for us, but we think this is also a great deterrent. If criminals know that our citizens are combining with us to share surveillance and keep an eye on what's going on in their neighborhood, criminals are going to think twice before infiltrating a neighborhood that's got a lot of surveillance in it. So
There you go.
good all around.
He's Officer John Thomas, Elizabethtown Police Department. I'm Greg Milby, Community Storyteller, and this is Kentucky's Heartland.